Hey Minecrafters, Nick here with episode 9 of my Minecraft World Tour. This is just kind of an extension of the last video I did, which was exploring the world and trying to find out what's changed, what's working, what's not working with Minecraft 1.13, which I just recently upgraded to. Here we are in the world. We're running around the main base. I've gotten all of my automatically generating sorter system stuff working properly again. I did have some issues with that. I found out that my giant ice cube maker, I went out and made myself some blue ice and made myself some packed ice. Yeah, my giant ice cube maker does not work anymore. And I think that's got to do with a change to sort of the light that they let through pistons. Because the ice cube maker, we can go take a quick peek. I did a little bit of testing, and it just seems to me that the particular configuration of pistons that I'm using, so slow whenever I go through a portal. The particular configuration of pistons that I was using was causing me some issues. And also, you'll notice down on my hotbar, I've got 4 phantom membranes. I just a little while ago I had my first run-ins with phantoms. Luckily, at my base, they are not as much of a problem as they could otherwise be, because they kind of get stuck underneath the roof I have on top of the base. Even during the daytime, they kind of hide in there, so I can just jump in and whack them while they're trying to fly back out through the roof. And yeah, I managed to get myself 4 membranes. Not that I need the membranes, because of course on my Elytra, you can see I've got mending, and this is the damage that they did to my armor. And that was just about, well, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the little phantoms coming out and whacking me when I didn't expect it. I had to run for my life because I was down to about 1.5 hearts. They really hurt. They really hurt. If they catch you in the open, there's a good chance you're going to die. So here we are. We're going to go out to the ice spike biome. Here's the portal to the ice spike biome. And I'm going to take a little jump here, try to jump over all of that. This little bit here was me testing to see what was happening with ice, freezing over top of a piston, because I thought maybe that was the issue. But what I'm thinking now is that because these pistons are not considered solid blocks, I guess, anymore, maybe they're not good for seeding ice. And I'll bet you, if I just take one piece of ice from here, let's grab this piece here, I will bet you if I put one piece of ice down in here, things will begin to freeze properly again. Maybe I'll put it right there. And I'll just wait around for a little bit, because I harvested my whole giant ice cube. This is sort of a design that was inspired by Etho. A lot of the stuff that I do is inspired by Etho. Instead of having one minecart go around, I made 2 minecarts go around. And all they do is they push up all of these, the pistons, and that sort of collects ice and turns it into one giant 12 by 12 by 12 ice cube. And that's a lot of fun to harvest. Really enjoyable to harvest, actually. And you see how they get pushed over, and then the next time they get pushed up again, well, you can tell. You know what's going to happen there. What I want to do is I want to test this. I want to get a couple of... maybe I should get some more ice just to see whether we can make this happen a little quicker. Because I'm thinking... grab all of this. Grab those. And I'm just going to put a couple of these things in here. Maybe every second one. That might make things freeze a little bit more quickly. We'll see whether that helps. Yeah, because after I harvested the giant ice cube and I made myself some packed ice and I turned all that packed ice into blue ice, I ended up with no more ice cubes forming. And that's very depressing, because this was a nice little ice farm. It was never incredibly quick, because it does take a while for things to freeze out here. And I'm actually a little surprised I haven't seen any of these guys freeze. I don't know exactly what the issue is here. I thought for a while... do I have a bucket of water here? I do. I thought for a while... we can just do this and we'll fill this all back up with water. I thought for a while that maybe ice would not freeze on top of a piston. And that... may be the case well, no, the very first one that freezes is right on top of the piston. So it's not a problem that this ice is, or this water is on top of a piston. It's got to be just that there's not really considered to be a solid block around it. And the reason why is because I have to have water in the back there so it will always flow and refill. But it's still, I haven't seen anything freeze out here. This is very strange. Very strange. And I'm guessing it's got something to do with the way that the pistons were changed to allow light through. At least I think that that's the change that's happened. I would have to do some more sort of experimenting. I've been trying to play around out here to find out exactly why things aren't doing what I think they should do. You know, in the last version, in Minecraft 1.12, this ice farm still worked just fine. And in fact, I have this little bumper jumper here to try to get me on top of the ice block. But now there's no ice block, so you just kind of fall down. But that's one way to get up there. I believe I have a sign that says, "No pearl, no problem." And that's because you can use that to get up on top of the ice block and cut it down from the top. But as we wait, I'm not seeing any ice form down here. And that's concerning. That's concerning. I don't know what I'm going to have to do about that. I may have to, I don't know, change these all to sticky pistons and put some kind of solid block on top of them, which would be a bit of a shame because I think that would reduce the number of blocks of ice that I got out, only by one layer though, if I have to put things, because the maximum number of blocks that a piston can push is 12. So if I have to put something solid on top of these, then I'll only be able to get 11 vertically. Right now it's 12 by 12, so there's 144 pieces of ice per layer, and there's 12 layers. You do the math on that one. I'm not quick enough mentally to do it. But so yeah, I'll just lose 144 pieces of ice per harvest if I can't get through there. I don't know, it's getting to be dark. But I did sleep, so I shouldn't have phantoms coming out to get me here. And yeah, we got our night vision just kind of wearing off. I like to have night vision when I'm at the base so I can see inside the killing chamber for the witch hunt. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to sleep here too, just to make it daytime, because things are not lit up well around this area. This was just my ice cube making setup, and I'm really surprised. I still haven't seen a darn thing happen. Okay, well, that is one of the problems that I have noticed in my 113 upgrade. It's completely broken my ice machine. So that's one thing. Now, the other thing that is driving me crazy about 113 is that I am having absolutely no luck obtaining a Trident. And if I go into here into the stats, you can see down here that for drowns, yesterday I played quite a bit trying to get some drowns and trying to get myself a Trident, and I've killed a lot. I've killed 721 drowns so far, and I have not found a single Trident. And a lot of the drowns that I have found naturally spawning have had Tridents. You know, they throw them at you, they hurt, but I still have not got one to drop. And I'm not sure whether that's because the area that I'm sort of fighting all the drowns in is an older area that was generated under an older version of Minecraft. Although I did go through, you know, the whole edit world and optimize world, which I would think maybe would sort of, I don't know, would help. But it doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to. I'm just not getting a single Trident anywhere. And the only thing I can think of is that maybe it's because the area that I've been trying to do this in is, you know, an older area, and I've only got one firework rocket right now, so I'm gonna have to take the portals back home. I could fly in that direction for quite a ways, and I'd get back to the base without having to stop off here in the Nether. And since I only have one rocket, I can't even fly around the quick way. I'm gonna have to run through the sort of Nether fortress here. And you can see I've half slabbed just about everything, everywhere around here, because I want to be able to get wither skeletons. And it's my little wither skeleton farm. It works pretty well. I don't think I've showed that in my most recent set of recordings, and I certainly didn't show it in my older recordings. So I will have to do that. That'll be another thing for another day that I can show off. But right now, all I want to do is run back to my base, pick up some more rockets, and then fly off to, I guess you could call it a drown farm. It's not really a farm. It's just where I've been fighting drowns. I made myself a little underwater bubble, and I was lucky enough to go off and find a little bit of the newly generated world and terrain that has the sea grass and the kelp. And okay, so let's go over here. We'll get ourselves some more rockets because we need rockets. Okay, we're gonna fly over this way. And just gotta keep on flying over this way. It is in the direction. Over there is the Mushroom Farm and the OP Slime Dojo, which is just working incredibly well under 1.13. I don't know what the deal is with that. A couple of things have changed in 1.13, and not all of them for the better. And like I say, I've gone off and I've fought hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these drowns looking for a Trident, and it's just not happening. So here we are. That's Ice Base Alpha up there, the unfinished secondary base. This is the XP Prismarine Farm, where I can get XP to repair things like my armor and my Elytra wings after I've been beaten up by things. And here's my new little place. I made. I'm just gonna swim down here. Yeah, I made this little sort of underwater bubble. Sadly, it's in a slime chunk, so every once in a while when I come in here, I have slime bouncing around. And I've put away all the sort of slime balls I found. I've gotten 22 more Nautilus shells after the ones that I used to create. You guessed it. You guessed it. I have a conduit over here. I was very lucky in the direction over sort of that way. If I go about, I don't know, 600 blocks, I start hitting new terrain, and you know that's where I managed to get my kelp from. I haven't harvested any seagrass. Because I'm not sure whether I can do anything with that aside from feed turtles, but I haven't even seen a turtle yet. And to make this area effective, what I had to do was, oh, there's a guy with a trident. Okay, here we go. This is the problem with the whole trident thing. Even though I see drowns, and you see, look at that, they hurt. They sit there and attack me and shoot their little tridents at me, and I can smack them and smack them, but I never get a trident. I got some gold. A gold ingot is nice, but I want a trident. Oh, you little mini drowned. Get away from me. And yeah, you can see there's a lot of drowns around here, and that's because I have spent the time. You'd be able to see it a little bit more easily if I go up to the top of the water, I think. What I did is I went down underground, and you can see a little bit of light coming out from the various places that I've been underground. Yeah, and so I had to light up caves. I had to find a whole bunch of underground mine shafts and get those all lit up. But now that those have been lit up properly, I'm getting a lot more drown spawning. And I did eventually realize after I made my conduit here that the more prismarine you have around it, kind of the better it works. And I'm not sure whether there's a limit to that or not, but these guys, when they get close, they should start taking damage. There we go. You can see the little particle effects around them, and they're just going to get they're going to get damaged, and they'll die on their own. But I have been coming out here and chopping them and finding guys that have tridents, but still no tridents will drop for me, which is really unfortunate, because I even got a loyalty book when I spent some levels enchanting books, and I got a loyalty book, and I'm ready to use it to get that returnable trident, but still no luck getting a trident. And I'm really starting to think that either in the actual 1.13 release, there's a slime in there. It's a big slime too. Yeah, in the 1.13 release on the Java edition, either tridents do not drop at all, or maybe they only drop in newly generated 1.13 terrain. I don't know which is the case. But these are the problems I'm having with 1.13. I would like to get myself a trident. Can't do it. I can get myself some phantoms. As you can see, I've got the phantom membranes, which are... Well, I don't even know what you can do with the phantom membrane aside from fix your Elytra wings, but my Elytra wings are fine, because I can just chop this guy up, and it'll probably fix him just from this. Because there's going to be enough slime in here, I'll get some experience. Burp, burp, burp. Choppity choppity, swing swing. Yeah, that's going to take me a little bit longer, but I mean, look at that. The my armor's already repaired. That's awesome. That is just totally awesome. Yeah, so I went out and I found myself a little bit of new terrain. I got my first treasure map. I found my first buried treasure, and I was really lucky because that very first buried treasure that I found had a heart of the sea. And so I grabbed a couple of pieces of kelp, you know, just to plant them around here because this is all old terrain. And I figured if I want to make this look a little nicer, I'll have to go off and, you know, plant the kelp myself. And I'm going to eat some fish here. Look at that, eating fish under the sea. That's really neat. It's I like the idea that now you can have sort of an underwater base. Hey, let's give something for this guy to play with. You want a fish? You want a fish? Here, take a fish. All right. Oh, wow. Why am I moving so quickly? That was strange. Come back over here, Mr. Dolphin. Oh, at least dolphins don't take damage. That's nice. Here, have a fish. Have a fish. Don't go in there. Play with the fish. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Playful dolphins. Lots of fun. And there's lots of drowns around, but not a single one of them will give up his trident for me. So I think what I'm going to do... Here comes another trident bearing... Ooh, so infuriating. I can't get these guys to drop it. And I don't know. I mean, I think even if this is old terrain, I would imagine that these guys would still be able to... Gimme! Just gimme! I want it! But no. Not going to happen. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll hop up here into the boat. I will hop up here into the boat. Actually, why boat when you can fly? Can I fly? It's a little hard to take off from the water sometimes. No, I'm now flying. Okay, now I got to figure out which direction I'm facing. That's back that way. That is my XP farm. So this is the direction over here. Yeah, this is the direction. There's a little bit of a swamp over here, and if I just kind of fly past the swamp for, I don't know, a few hundred blocks, that was the extent of where I had explored to, at least in this direction. And pretty soon we should start seeing some underwater things that are 113. Somewhere around here. Should be getting close. Oh, there we go. So here's the first shipwreck I found. And you can see the hard line right there. Look at that. So, yeah, when you do an upgrade from one world to another, that's the kind of line that you get. It's just that this was generated in 1.8, 1.9, something like that, and this is generated in 1.13. I don't know why this grass. Maybe the grass is spreading. It must be the spreading of the grass. But anyway, yeah. So I found this little shipwreck here. I got myself. And sort of what is it, a treasure map, and the treasure map led me over somewhere in this direction. I think it was over here-ish. And yeah, I found my first buried treasure. I don't know exactly where it was. I thought it was over here-ish, but I am not seeing the area that I had torn apart because it took me forever, just forever to find the buried treasure. It's really hard. Looking at the maps, for me anyway, I find it really hard to pinpoint exactly where the treasure is. Oh no, this must have been the place. This must have been the place over here. Yeah, this is where it was. So my first buried treasure was right here. And this seagrass, it does spread. Because I ripped up all of the sand that was here just trying to find that one little guy. I eventually did find him right here. And a hint for you guys. If you find a buried treasure, make sure that you destroy the chest, or harvest the chest once you're done looting it. Because if you don't, then when you're looking around a little bit more, you might find another underground treasure map, as I did from some of the little structures around here. I think there's a structure around here somewhere. There should be a couple of them. Oh wow, this is going a little slow. But yeah, so I found another couple of treasure maps, and sadly, because I didn't harvest the chest from my first treasure, it just pointed me to the exact same treasure, which I had already harvested. But I was very lucky that I managed to get the Heart of the Sea on that first treasure. That made me happy, because the Nautilus shells are pretty easy to come by. You can get them from fishing, and you can get them from just killing these drowns that appear everywhere. As I mentioned, I get a lot more drowns than I used to because I spent the time to light up all the caves underneath the ocean floor, and that does make a big difference. So I got to make my conduit, I made my little underwater base, and there we go, we're in the right place here. Yeah, so that's what I've done. I've just kind of built this as just a way to try to get myself a trident and explore some of the new bits and pieces. I planted some kelp around here, it looks kind of neat. I don't have any seagrass because I just don't have any silk touch on shears. So I'm gonna have to go back there and do that. And maybe I'll have to try moving the conduit back over in that direction and see whether I can get some of the drowns to spawn over there. However, if you don't light up everything that's underneath the seafloor, you're not going to get as many drowns spawning as you'll see spawning around here, because this is fairly close to the XP Prismarine Farm. And for me to get that XP Prismarine Farm working well, I had to do a lot of caving. And find as many of the underwater bits and pieces as I could. I knew that the same thing would be true over here, so I did that. I found a couple of little holes where sand had sort of naturally fallen in, and then managed to get in there. Underneath here was the beginning of a bunch of the underwater sort of mine shafts, and that was kind of the first place that I got into. And yeah, I managed to pop open some other holes and find lots and lots of caves. So if you want to get more drowns spawning in your world, make sure that you light up all of the underwater caves, and that should really help. I know it has for me. What is that dolphin doing? He's just swimming up and down the kelp. Interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say, guys. I just kind of wanted to show off this and lament, give you my lament about, even though I've killed, how many was it? Almost 1,000? Yeah, 730 drowned and not a single trident. So there's either a problem with tridents not spawning in the 1.13 Java version, or if they do spawn, it may only be in terrain that is generated under 1.13, because this old terrain, and you can tell it's old terrain because there's none of the new features like the kelp, I mean, aside from what I've planted. Yeah, I'm just not getting any tridents, and I'm really upset by that, because I was so looking forward to having a trident. I've got loyalty. I've got a loyalty book just waiting to be used. And I've run around here and chopped these guys so many times. So many drowned, killed, and all of that effort for nothing. Absolutely for nothing. I mean, not exactly for nothing. I've gotten a bunch of Nautilus shells, and I'm not sure if there's anything else you can do with a Nautilus shell aside from use it to make a conduit. But you can probably see that there's quite a few of these drowns spawning around here, and I'm convinced that's because I lit up all the caves. Well, not all the caves, but I mean as many caves as I could find. I was digging holes here and there. Oh, Minecraft, you crazy game! How you infuriate me with your lack of tridents. I'm not sure if there'll be a patch over the next little while. I hope that there will be, because Mojang, however you want to say it, if you're listening, tridents are not dropping. They're not dropping at all. And I mean at all. If there's a 1% chance, then by the time you've killed 100 mobs, you should probably have one. And if there's a 1% chance, by the time you've killed 700 mobs, you should definitely have one. You should have somewhere around 7 is kind of my guess, and I'm not sure exactly what the percentage chance for things to drop are, but I think it's about a 3% chance for a regularly sort of drowned mob to drop them. And if you see them carrying a trident, there's supposed to be a better chance, especially if you're using a looting sword, and I am. This is my good sword, Smite 4, Looting 3, and Mending, so I should have something. But I don't have anything. And it's, yeah, it's unfortunate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismantle this conduit here. I will try moving into some of the new areas over there that I've found. And I'll try setting up the conduit and seeing whether I can do some hunting over there. Maybe I will have better luck. So for the moment, guys, I think that's about all I can say. I think that's about all I can show you, aside from my cool little underwater dome here. I'm thinking maybe I'll dig down and sort of make some more of a base down there. But you can see I've gotten some Nautilus shells here. This is where I'm keeping my kelp. I've got more slime balls, because slime do spawn in here. This is obviously partially a slime chunk. And because things are lit up fairly well, I actually do get a fair number of slime spawning in there, which is a bummer, because I've got a giant slime farm that works really well, especially in 1.13. You've seen the videos, you know. And why am I swimming so quickly? What is going on here? It's almost like if you go swimming and you just hit sideways. And look at that. I can swim so quickly sideways. That's insane. And then all of a sudden it slows down. I don't know what causes that. And I have this here so I can get to the top of the water and launch myself. Oh, I missed a chance. Yeah, that's... Having the vertical water bubbles is a good way for you to get up to the top so you can just launch yourself out of the water. But of course, when you try to show it off, it doesn't work. And look at all of this. Look at all of this. Here's the XP from all these guys I've been murdering, trying to get myself a trident. But we all know I'm not going to get a trident because it's just, they're not dropping here. They're just not dropping. I mean, I've killed enough of these guys. By now, I should definitely have one. So, okay, I'll run back to the safety of my little dome, or maybe even the safety of the conduit, because any of these guys that get close to the conduit seem to take enough damage to kill them fairly quickly. And if I swim in here, sink down and just land in here, I'm pretty safe. I mean, aside from somebody throwing a trident at me. Yeah, and you can hear the heartbeat. The conduit is really neat. I'm sort of enjoying it. I like the fact that it lets me build an underwater base where I don't have to worry about water breathing. And anybody that gets close to me just takes damage and will die. I guess the amount of damage that they take or the radius of the damage is related to how many of these prismarine blocks you have. I was playing around removing prismarine blocks and seeing how few of them I could have before the heart of the sea would stop working, or the conduit would stop working. Yeah, come on, guys. Take more damage. Take more damage and go away, because I'm tired of killing you. I am tired of killing these guys. I've been doing it for days. When I say days, I don't mean literally. Well, I mean Minecraft days, sure. I've been killing them for literally Minecraft days. And I'm still just disappointed because nothing's happened yet. So, that's it, guys. I'm going to run back into the safety of my dome. Well, the relative safety of my dome, with a little slime bouncing around trying to kill me. Oh, you rotten slime. You rotten slime. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I can't get a trident. I want a trident. I'm getting nautilus shells and phantom membranes. I don't even need a phantom membrane. What I need, guys. Come on. Oh, my keyboard's not working well. What I need is a trident. That is what I need. I'm using the sword. It's not working. Well, I mean, the sword's working, but I want a trident. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you in the next episode. And in the meantime, you have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.